Hi, welcome to the Gastroenteritis Blues. My name is Steve Lippman, joined as always by Emily Cannell. Dan Volpone not here. I don't remember why, but I'm sure it's a good excuse.
He has a test.
Drew, he's what?
He has a test tomorrow.
He has a test. Right. Yeah, I mean, sort of suspicious. It's the middle of August. I'm not quite sure that checks out. Drew is back in the saddle. People rejoice. It was his 21st birthday. We were just talking about it. It was a great time. For all of you wondering. Emily, first question to you. Obviously, the Game of Thrones Before series is coming up. People are excited. I never saw any of that show, but I know that the ending of it was divisive, and I'd like to know what you thought of the ending of it.
I didn't like the ending of it. I still cried, but I cry at most things. But I didn't feel like it was sufficient for like the quality of show that the rest of the show was. I did not think that the finale lived up to the storytelling, but I mean, I'm still very excited for this prequel show. I'll really watch anything in the Game of Thrones universe.
So. Okay, great. Glad to hear it. The NBA schedule came out, including the Sixers schedule. Now, they play everyone. And they are going to be in the first game of the NBA season. First game of the NBA season will be the Sixers against the Celtics. And that sounds like such a bad idea for me personally and emotionally. That'll be October 18th, Sixers at Celtics. Then the Sixers home opener will be against Giannis and the Bucks on October 20th. There will also be something called NBA Rivals Week, which will be, there will be 11 rivalry games, January 24th to 28th. The Sixers are involved twice when the Nets come to Philadelphia. Ben Simmons, we'll talk about him later. And also against the Nuggets with Jokic and Embiid. The Sixers-Knicks Christmas game, which we talked about last week, is officially the noon game, which I think is what you especially hoped it wouldn't be, because that's when you have like Christmas obligations. The Sixers' final month of the season is especially difficult. It gets really tough. Brian Toporek, I apologize, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Rick's for Liberty Ballers now. It's a good guy. He tweeted out that the schedule gets really hard. They play Chicago back-to-back, and then Golden State, Phoenix, Denver, Dallas, Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, and Brooklyn, all to end the year. Hopefully those teams will have like wrapped up their seeding, and so will the Sixers, but that's like a really tough stretch to end the year. Sixers play a ton on national TV. I think it's like 23 games on either ESPN, ABC, or TNT, just not counting the like NBA TV, like fake national TV games. What did you think of the schedule, Emily? All of that stuff.
I mean, it's a schedule. We can go through it all the time and say that, you know, the NBA hates the Sixers and so on and so forth, but I guess they have to make everyone play everyone. I think the first two games are particularly brutal. I'm just getting set up for the Sixers to start 0-2 and everyone to think the sky is falling, because that's going to be inevitable. The rivalry game week is kind of weird. I wouldn't really, there are like, I guess the Ben Simmons thing is a rivalry, but like team wise, I wouldn't really say it's a rivalry. And same with Denver.
There's no
it's
Nets
just two
thing.
players. Yeah. Like I would rather, I mean, the Celtics, obviously. I would even say like Miami or Toronto more. Like I have like harder and like deeper seated feelings about like Toronto than I do either of those teams. Like,
right.
So I just think they want to do things to, I don't know, it's kind of stupid. But did you see that? I don't know who had the original tweet, but they had like the line graphs for the strength of schedules for each team. Did you see this?
Yeah.
And like the Sixers is just like goes like normal, like a little bit easy, and then just has like the sharpest decline. Right. But like their schedule gets so hard, and it's really like the most apparent just like tanking to hardness that there is. Like some of them, like Utah has like starts hard and just like easily straight up, gets easier as the season goes. Like other people have ups and downs, but the Sixers are just like a little bit easy and then just like tank, like you're fucked basically. So that'll be fun. But yeah, it's hard to say like if any of this will even matter until we see them play. Like I want to have faith that like even if the games are hard, it's not going to matter because we're just going to be so good at basketball.
Yeah, I don't mind the first two games being hard thing. Like I think it's kind of fun to watch them against real teams immediately and like national TV games. I think that's fun. Obviously less fun if they lose them, as with every game. Like if they lose, I'm gonna wish they played, Detroit and won. But I think it'll be like we'll be all juiced up if they win those games. I mean, holy shit, we'll be so excited if they go 2-0. It's like you will not be able to talk to any of us about the Sixers.
We're never losing a game for the next 30
exactly.
seasons. Did you see us beat the Celtics on the Bucks?
Right. What Drew, maybe you can look this up. The official first game for Simmons' return, the official first game that the Nets come to Philadelphia. Obviously nobody knows who's going to be on the Nets, so that takes some of the air out of it. But as of now, Simmons seems to be walking around and practicing and playing basketball. So you would think that he would play in that game, whenever that is. But people are excited about that. But yeah, we have more stuff about Ben in the second half of the pod. But Drew.
So the first game they meet is when the Nets go to Philly, which is November 22nd.
November 22nd.
Yeah, that's going to be on TNT.
Great. Yeah, so that'll be a bit of a sideshow. Obviously, when the last time this happened was at like, I think it was like, what was it? This March 10th last year, when Ben came and was wearing an outfit and didn't play, but he was passing the ball to his teammates and did a dunk under the basket, and the Nets just absolutely shithoused the Sixers, and it sucked from beginning to end, and it was terrible. And he got booed, but then the Sixers were losing by 1 billion, so it was like just not much of anything to say to him. So we'll see what that is, but lots of sort of marquee games there. Yeah, you would think that they would have to sort of stack wins in the middle of the year and see what happens. Speaking of the Nets, Kevin Durant this week, Mark Stein put out his Substack, and within it he said, during Summer League in Las Vegas, one of the most well-connected team executives that I speak to regularly insisted to me that based on what he's hearing, Kevin Durant was more apt to retire than play again for the Brooklyn Nets. This was in early July. So then Kevin Durant goes to his Twitter account and says like something to the effect of, I know that people like to believe unnamed sources instead of me, but like essentially I'm not retiring anytime soon. Like, the most interesting thing about Durant tweeting that to me is not that he's saying he's not going to retire, which is like, obviously he's not going to retire. Like he's Kevin Durant. He's like a top 3 player in the NBA. He's not going to retire. But to me, it's that of all the things to deny, like he has the full power to deny every one of these rumors, and he sees them all, I think. He's a very online guy, and he decides to deny this one. So like, million rumors about him wanting to go to all of these destinations, including Philadelphia, about him not wanting to play for the Nets ever again, about him not wanting to do all of this stuff. But he goes ahead and picks this one. Like, I guess to me, what's most interesting is the stuff that he's chosen not to deny, instead of him saying, Mark Stein, I have read your Substack, and I think that I'm not going to retire. What do you think about that rumor?
About the rumor that he's gonna retire,
or well, him denying it and choosing not to deny anything else.
Well, I think part of the reason he's not denying anything else is because everything else is true.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
I don't Kevin Durant doesn't strike me as the type of guy that's like gonna play like mind games in the background. Like he's like, I'm gonna tell you what this like bullshit you're putting out behind in your email newsletter is wrong. Like no one asked me. And like all the other stuff which we've talked about, that's clearly true. Like when the owner of the Brooklyn Nets is saying like, I have full faith in like Steve Nash, and are like, he has to say that because Kevin Durant definitely was like, fire these guys or I'm gone.
Correct. Like, so that was the other big rumor that Katie didn't tweet out, like, hey, I actually love Steve Nash and Sean Marks. Like, that would be a very easy thing for him to deny. Obviously, he believes that shit. Like, you know.
Yeah. So I think just look to Katie's Twitter to find out what's true and what's not, because I don't really think he's mincing words over there. He's like, I love Katie on Twitter. He's like, great. He doesn't give a shit, and it's fun.
It's a lot.
It's how Joel used to be.
Well, he doesn't give a shit, and he also really, really gives a shit. Like, you know, like true. It's a good combination. Stein also said if Durant hasn't been traded by like media day training camp, there is a growing expectation in league circles that he will continue to try to cause as much of a ruckus behind the scenes to try to prod the Nets into lowering their asking price to at last facilitate a deal. All right. We're going to go to a break and come back and talk about Ben Simmons and the Bachelorette. There's not a ton to talk about this week, guys. Here's a break. We are back. All right. This week we had resolution on the Ben Simmons suing the Sixers thing. The Woj tweeted, Ben Simmons and the Sixers have reached a settlement agreement on the grievance the All-Star filed to recoup a portion of the nearly $20 million withheld from him as a result of failure to play in the basketball games. Sixers maintained Simmons breached his contract, and Simmons cited mental health for the reason for his participation in team activities was so limited. Both sides agreed to a confidentiality agreement on the exact financial settlement. So my first reaction to this is like, why are they settling? Like, shouldn't they just want to give him $0 of this? Because from the beginning it was like, fucking good luck, man. Like, you're not getting any of this. And then I thought about it more, and I just was thinking like, well, Clutch is like a huge agency around the NBA. Tyrese Maxey is represented by Clutch, and many players that they will want to be in business with in the future are represented by Clutch. So maybe they don't want this to get extremely ugly. And the confidentiality part, to me, I forget who I heard say this, is that it's either that Simmons got a lot of that 20 million or he got like almost nothing. And to me, it's like, it's definitely almost nothing. Like, you know, I think that the league would not have stood for Morey giving up any like decent portion of this 20 million, given what went on in this, and given how like baseless this claim was for this 20 million in my opinion. So that's kind of where I like, because at the end of the day, I don't think I care that much like on a moral standpoint, because I don't really give a shit about Josh Harris. Ben Simmons is gone. Like, I don't, at the end of the day, it's like this money is not, you know, it's like in the ether. So like, who cares? But that's just my read on it. What do you think?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but I would say, I guess what I think is that he didn't get a lot of money, and like, so then he would want to keep it quiet. And then like the Sixers are just like, don't really give a shit. I would think that I'm trying to think of like from the NBA's perspective, like they would want other players to think that he got nothing. So even if he got something, they would want to keep that quiet so that no one else does this. So I feel like probably for all parties involved, it's probably best that no one knows. I'm hoping it leaks at some point because I want to know. And like, maybe it will. Then someone else will get sued. But yeah, I would guess that he wouldn't get a lot. I mean, I don't really think he had a leg to stand on. And
right.
And but also it's interesting because then I wonder, like, besides the fact of like keeping Rich Paul happy, like wouldn't Rich Paul like lose out on a lot of money to like, if Ben did, like, do you think he gets a portion of this like settlement money? Like, because the agents get like a percentage of their salary?
Yes. Yeah. So Rich Paul would get some of this money, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so he needs that money because him and Adele are living together now. So he
It's
has,
huge.
she's a certain lifestyle she's accustomed to.
She certainly does. But I do think she would have to be the primary breadwinner over there, right? Or no? I don't know.
I don't know. How much money does Rich Paul make?
I don't know.
She
But
probably
I
makes
would
a lot of money too.
give the nod to Adele. I think. Global superstar Adele.
Global superstar. Las Vegas residency. She has a lot. Like
He
I
would
feel
hope
like-
to be her agent and get a piece of that. Like,
Yeah.
that's the kind of pool we're talking about.
Yeah. Also, none of this is shade to Adele. Like, I don't want people being like, "How dare you think Rich Paul makes more money than Adele?" I have no idea, and she's much more talented. I love her, so I'm not
Certainly more talented.
Yes.
I did kind
Also,
of feel like
has
we
it-
were shitting on Adele.
I wasn't trying to. Ben Simmons has been like weirdly active on social media recently. Have you noticed this?
Well, I certainly don't follow him any longer, but he reached out to offer condolences to Howard Eskin.
Yes.
So I don't, this came up in the Liberty Baller Slack, and I just will say, I thought, listen, that is on a base level, very nice thing to do. I just hope that is all he was doing, and I have no reason to believe that it is not. All I would say is that no one has been shittier to Ben Simmons in the world than Howard Eskin. So he would be a huge person to, it's not a tweet that Ben was added in, it was just Howard lost his dog, which is very sad. And I know that Ben is a dog lover, so an animal lover in general. So I think it's a very, very nice thing that Ben did, where Ben, I guess he Howard replied and said, "Ben, so nice of you sending the message. Really tough to lose your best friend. Doggies are such a big part of the family." So listen, maybe they're patching things up.
And then Ben retweeted that from Howard.
Yeah. So listen, maybe things are just copacetic because the cynic, and by the cynic I do mean Dan, would say,
"Oh, Dan,"
would say that like Ben has some sort of ulterior motive. But I don't believe that. I believe that Ben was being kind here to someone who has not been kind to him. So I think that that's a good guy move from Ben.
Yeah, it's a really far reach to think that someone would like backhanded passive
too fucked up.
That's too fucked up. And I
too fucked up. Choose any other day to tweet "fuck you" to Howard Eskin.
Yeah,
just
like
don't do
just
it.
laugh at it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
Exactly. No, and people would be on your side. Everybody hates that. Yeah. I mean, come on, who cares?
But then he was like tweeting. There was like a whole rumor that him and his fiance broke up, and then they both said that like, no, that's not true. And then there was like the candy shop video. There's just like a lot of Ben Simmons in the ether right now. And since we
want to talk about the candy shop
this week, I thought I'd bring it all up.
Yeah. So I want to talk about the candy shop thing. If you don't know the video is a guy with a camera walks up to Ben. He's at a candy store in the mall somewhere. And
also, like, can't Ben get his candy delivered? Like, why is he in this random mall?
I don't know. Guy's got
his so weird to me.
I'm very intrigued about what kind of candy he's getting.
Had like a whole candy room in his Jersey house. So like he clearly likes candy. Like there's cool candy websites. Like get on those.
I don't know.
Go to the mall.
He likes to get it himself. What can I say? But the guy's going up to Ben, filming him, and he gives him like a pound. And are we gonna have audio in this or no? No, we don't have audio. Okay. One day. So anyway, this guy goes up to Ben and he goes, "Oh shit, Russell Westbrook, bro, like can't shoot Russell Westbrook." Like gives him a pound. "Oh shit, it's Russell Westbrook. I love you, man. Like Russell Westbrook." Don't do that. That sucks and I hate it. I think that absolutely sucks. By the way, don't like Ben whatsoever. Was so desperate for so long to get him off the team. I think he stinks, and I think he's like a huge, like absolute no thanks as a basketball player and as like a general NBA figure. Get him out of here. Wanted him gone for so long, but don't go up to him and harass him and like do that shit. I think that sucks. Also, provably unfunny, not funny. like everybody walking around with cameras in their hands has been under the impression that they're funny for far too long. And this gentleman is one of them. Not funny, not good. Don't do it. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. By the way, there's so many actually bad people walking around the NBA. If you want to like do some shit that you think is slick, go up to one of those bad guys and like try to like make a fool out of them. Not Ben, who like wanted to be off the team and was shitty about it for like a long time. It's fine. He's fine. Leave him alone. I don't like it. So, any thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you. I read this is like all Twitter hearsay that the guy only did it because like Ben refused to take a picture with his kids or something, and it's like that's his prerogative. Like, if
also conveniently not on camera. Conveniently not on camera.
Well, yeah,
like,
people also like people don't want to film their kids, and like also don't want their kids being in this video of you being shitty. So fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's but I kind of like you said, he was not a great teammate. Not a great basketball player for this team. Happy that he has new life. We're still talking about him, but it's a slow week. Yeah. So we'll see him in what was the date? November 11th, October 11th, November 11th?
November 22nd.
I'm really close. So great. Can't wait. I'll be there. I will boo. It'll be fun.
Right. Oh, yeah, booing's fine. No, totally fine. You want to do some funny chants at the game within the confines of the arena, fine. When he's like enjoying his life, trying to get his Charleston shoes, leave the guy alone. And in my head, he's getting the best candy on the market, which is that.
Charleston shoes.
Listen, we've got a solid 9 minutes left until Zoom tries to make me pay for something. Bachelorette talk. Dan's not here. We don't have to make him.
He doesn't watch it anymore.
He doesn't watch it anymore. Just me and you. Who do you like? I will put it out in the ether, by the way, that Tyler, who's one of Rachel's guys, we're on his tail here. We're trying to get this kid on the podcast because he is either from Philadelphia or New Jersey. I know that he lives in Wildwood. Kid's got a Philadelphia accent. He's got to be a Philadelphia fan. He always goes, "I need this Rose." Like he's got a Philadelphia. I need this guy. I love him. I think he's great on the show, and I really think that he'd be great on the show. So maybe we can have Zach reach out to him, but he's my guy. So any other favorites or least favorites for you right now?
I mean, Nate was my favorite. All of like the weird reality Steve stuff aside. Tyler, I'm very excited because he is gonna get a hometown. So I'm hoping that it is either I'm just hoping for like a Eagles flag in the background or like the dad to drop a Go Birds. Like I'm just waiting for that and I'm very looking forward to it. Hometown should be fun. The one guy's uncle is Patrick Warburton. Did you see that in the previews?
Yes, I did. I saw somebody post it on Instagram. Yeah.
So I guess it's his uncle. That will be interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it's real weird. I like the two Bachelorette thing at first, but now I'm not into it because I feel like I don't know any of these people. Because we've seen everyone like half the time. So I'm like, I don't know anything about them, but I'll still watch. Paradise starts soon. That's where
Paradise will be great. I'm trying to think if I hate anybody at this point. I wish we had a better villain. It would be nice to have a villain. Oh, the one guy got COVID and then he's fucking gone the next second. They don't even let him say goodbye. He's gone. He's got COVID and he's absolutely gone.
And then the previews, they had a thing where Jesse Palmer goes like to his room and is like, "You got to get the fuck out." And then they never showed that. So like, was he that mad about the COVID?
They threw him overboard.
Like,
I don't know what happened.
happened.
I don't know. They threw him right overboard.
And also like,
he's done.
Did they test everybody? Like then they just went to the rose ceremony.
That's what I don't understand.
Where did you get COVID? I don't get it.
Aren't they close contacts? I don't understand. They should be.
Very confusing.
Thank you very much.
What kind of ice cream?
The banana Laffy Taffy.
Oh God. Okay. So Gabrielle, my fiance now, just brought me ice cream. Now we're gonna play. She just shook her head that it's awful. Now
is it vanilla?
I do
again?
like awful things. No. You have to guess. We have 6 minutes left. You have to guess what kind of ice cream I got.
Is it like a real flavor?
Oh, this is horrible.
I'm so sorry.
This is so bad. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
You have to guess. This is really, really terrible. You have to guess what kind of ice cream I got.
Is it like a real ice cream flavor?
It was not a common one. It was a specialty flavor at Trader Joe's.
Interesting. How am I
Drew,
supposed to
you can
guess
pop on
this?
here too, babe.
I don't think you understand how hard of a question this is.
Like guess ice this specialty ice cream flavor that I'm eating. It's not good.
Yeah, from
There's
Trader
a fruit
Joe's.
component to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
what's it bad? Is it like grape ice cream?
No.
Is it like
That
a
was-
sherbet? Like a
This
fruit?
is what it looks like.
Looks
It
like
looks like vanilla from here.
It's banana pudding ice cream.
Ew.
No.
Were you about to guess that?
No.
No.
It's so bad. Okay. Gang, we gotta wrap it up.
That's gross.
This wasn't the best episode of August. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Emily, are we missing anything here?
I wish we were, but it's been a real slow news week.
Sixer schedule's out. Leave Simmons alone at candy stores.
James Harden's
Ke-
working out. It
Kevin
seems.
Durant retired. James Harden looks great with his shirt off. Things are going well. Have fun
Tyrese
at
Maxey
the
can throw footballs. That's
he's throwing them
thing.
everywhere, slinging it.
Are you following the Phillies at all? We got 4 minutes. I'll just hog the time
Yes.
up.
Yes, following the Phillies, they blew one today.
Oh,
I really
sucks.
needed the split. The first 2 games were bad, and then this one looked good, and then it got
And then you
bad,
had to
and then it
sit
got
through
good,
for
and then
6
it got
hours.
bad.
It was
Yeah.
terrible. But Bryce is apparently going to be back soon. So
Need that, and just need them
Need
to
them.
squeak in to the playoffs and make some noise.
I agree. I'm going to the
what
game
else?
next Sunday. I'm looking forward to it.
Eagles coming up.
hmm
Should be great.
Big win against the Browns today.
Huge win against the Browns. Great joint practices.
Zach Ertz had a baby and named it Madden, which was great.
Who named baby Madden?
Uh-huh.
As
Well,
in
Julie Ertz had a baby. Zach Ertz didn't have a baby, but
as in Madden.
yes.
Wow. Wow.
That's all. That's
Wait,
all the
is it
Philadelphia
a-
sports news I have.
I can't believe that. He named the baby Madden. Wow. That's cute. All right. Hey. You search for weddings. Where did you guys get hitched?
Where did we get married?
Yeah,
Lancaster.
Lancaster, PA.
Yeah.
And did you look all around?
We looked like in Harrisburg and Lancaster.
Harrisburg. Was that a
That's
good
all right.
process? How did it go for you?
It was fine. I mean, I did most of the work. Brody
How
just
long
drove
after-
to the various venues, and I was like, "Which one?" And then he picked.
How long after the engagement did you guys have one?
I would say
This
Like
is what
6
people
weeks.
pay for.
like 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Okay.
We had one. Yeah.
Was it very competitive?
Yeah. I mean, we had the venue. We picked it in January, and we got a date for April of the next year.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
this was all pre-COVID, so like, think COVID
Yeah.
made things weird.
It did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll be in touch about that. Good stuff, gang. Thanks for listening. Drew, great work as always. Dan, we miss you. Enjoy that show about the Game of Thrones.
Dragons, lots of dragons.
Game of Dragons now?
It's called, what is it called? House of Dragons?
Dance of
Dragons.
House of Dragons. I
What's
love it.
it called?
Rolls right off the tongue.
Dragons.
She's looking it up. We're really running out the clock.
I should know, but I just know there's a lot of dragons.
Now I need to know. So if you
Okay, fine. I'll look it up. Hold on. HBO. If I just go to HBO.com, it should come up, right?
This
I would
new
think so.
computer is not going to help.
House of the Dragon. House of the
There it
Dragon.
is.
There it
All
is.
right. Oh, Steve J. Littman. Third and Girl. DA Post 13. Gastro Blues Pod. House of the Dragon.
Tonight at 9,
Gastro-
if anyone wants to tweet me about
Yes.
it.
So yeah, if you guys listen to this a day earlier, Gastro Blues Pod, a Sixers podcast on YouTube. Subscribe there. Be safe and be great. See you later.